Hi, my name is John Su. I'm the owner of Imperial Investments. Today's topic is how to never be sold an investment again. And really it's about knowing what questions to ask to find out, is your guy an investment expert or is he just a great salesman? And really it goes back to the fact of how to understand an investment. You should only understand an investment in three terms: security, specific risk, and risk mitigation. And of course, I do my token, was it a legal disclaimer? I am not a certified financial planner. I am not a tax lawyer or any giving tax advice. I'm not a lawyer of any sort giving legal advice. Everything I'm about to say is my personal opinion in all of my videos, and it's based on my own personal experiences and stuff that I've looked at in my own life. So really, when you think about when someone is explaining an investment to you, they need to tell you in terms of three things: security, risk, and risk mitigation, because that's what investing's all about. It's not about, missing out and not having enough money when you're retired. Don't you want to live healthy? All this fear-driven, emotional sales pitch. So really, when you understand what questions to ask or what questions to get your certified financial planner or whoever does your investments to answer, and he can explain it to you, it really shows two things. It gives you the right information so that you understand investments properly, so you have the confidence to know that you know what you're doing. And also, it also proves to you that your certified financial planner knows what he's doing, rather than just to go on someone's word to say, oh yeah, he does it for my friend, he must be good, or yeah, no, sounds like he knows what he's doing. And the sad reality is not that he knows so much, it's the fact that the financial industry is so complex and convoluted that the general public just knows so little, and the so-called expert just knows a little bit more, but it just seems like a lot more because they are in the business of it and they know how to, I guess, talk a great story. So let's go back to, I guess, the three questions you really want to understand. So really the first question you want to ask your investment guy is, what is my security? When your investment advisor is able to tell you what your security is, it shows that he understands, if something were to happen, you can go after something to recoup your money. Because really, when you're asking him for an investment advice, he must educate you on worst case scenario, what might happen. And really, it's really scary when sometimes you have products that are backed by paper. So if the market goes down, you lose money. If the market goes up, you make money. And you really want to ask yourself, what's your security in something like that? So I'm a big believer of a hard asset of value. The second question you want to ask them is, what are the specific risks with this type of investment? And in every type of investment, there are specific risks that affect that investment. So for example, when you do rental properties, the biggest risk is the renter, vacancies, damage to the properties, screening the tenants. So really, when your investment guy is able to answer what the specific risks are, then it shows that he understands the industry, the investment, the risk factors. He knows what might happen, and he's able to communicate that to you. Really, because a typical response from most people when you ask them, hey, what are the risks? A salesman would say, John, there's risks in every investment. That's a salesman's response. But you as a client need to be strong and to say, no, John, seriously, what are the specific risks to this investment? And he needs to give you such a specific answer that you know exactly what he's talking about. And if he still gives you a general answer, it tells you one of two things. One, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Two, he's bullshitting you. One or the other, because when someone knows what they're talking about, they will either say, yes, this is what it is, or they'll be honest with you. You know what? I don't even know. And really, when the person can answer the question, it demonstrates to you he understands investing and he's giving you the right information. If he doesn't understand, you really want to ask yourself, am I paying this guy to hold my hand, or am I paying him to help invest my money? Just food for thought. And really the third question, and this is probably the question that really separates the salesman from investment experts, because really this is something that only an investor would know, or an investor would have told and educated their sales force. So let's think of it like this. The third question is, what are the specific risk mitigation strategies that you, this investment, or the company implements for me to protect me? And really, when he's able to explain what the risk mitigation strategies are, it shows that they've thought or even entertained the idea that, they know that something could go wrong and they know what to do about it. Right? Most guys, when you think about it, the person in front of you is not the actual investor managing the money, managing the asset, or whatever it is, the investment. Their function is to sell you an investment. That's their job. That's what they've been hired by the company to do, is to sell investments. So really, if they've been trained to sell investments, it really makes sense that they would be trained more on sales than the actual product or the investing side, because that's not their responsibility. But at least they should know how risk is mitigated, so that when something goes wrong, for example, if prices fall in stocks, they'll say if it falls to this dollar value, we'll switch it up and do this. Or if it goes up, we'll sell here. They always have multiple exit strategies to say, you know what, this is what we hope to happen, but if it doesn't happen, we'll do this, and if that doesn't happen, we'll do this. Because really, investing is speculation when you boil down to it. Nobody has a crystal ball. There is no guarantees. And really, that's a word that tells me somebody's a rookie, is when an investor asks, is this investment guaranteed? Or the salesman says this investment is guaranteed, but they are not selling a GIC to you. The only investments that are guaranteed are GICs. And really, GICs are more about wealth preservation than it is about investing, because 2 or 3%, it ain't gonna do much for you. You might as well go on vacation, and you'll get more value out of that than 2 or 3%. So really, going back, what are the 3 questions you can ask to determine if your guy is an investment expert or a great salesman? It's, what's my security? Because that tells you that if something goes wrong, you know what to expect or what to do. What are the specific risks? When he answers that, that tells you he understands his industry, what possibly might go wrong. And then, what is the specific risk mitigation strategies that you, the company, or the investment does for me? That says when something goes wrong, we know what to do. And really, I say the question that most of these salesmen cannot answer is the last question, because it requires somebody explaining actual real life experiences of what was done when things go wrong. But like I said, a lot of people who sell investments avoid the big R word, which is risk, and they always talk about how things never lose money or 100% track record. People who have been in the business long enough know that things almost never go exactly as planned, and if you've been in the business long enough, you've always lost money, and that's how you develop better, more effective risk mitigation strategies. And really, perfect track records is if you've never paid out the investment and you're still holding on, you haven't actually lost money yet because you haven't sold the investment. So it's just kind of a few things that I want people to be aware of, is don't take things for face value. Don't assume that they're the expert. Ask as many questions as you need until you have all these specific answers you want. Because really, it's not about insulting someone's integrity or questioning their ability. It's about you worked hard for your money, and people who are investing other people's money need to earn the right to manage that money for other people. And I think really investing other people's money is a privilege, and you need to earn that right each and every time, not just because it's renewal time. Oh, I'm entitled to that money. No, you need to earn the right to invest people's money consistently and constantly. Next video is going to be about what probably a lot of people think is, when I do an investment, what's a reasonable rate of a profit to expect on these type of investment? Because a lot of people just put their money in and hope things work out. A year passes by, and the next thing you know, they got maybe 2, 3, 5%, and they're like, oh, not too bad. So they just leave their investment there. Next year, maybe they've lost 1 or 2%. And then next thing you know, they're just getting very mediocre returns from 2 to 5%, or they're losing money. And really, the typical pattern is year after year, time passes, and the investor, you just really become glad when you don't lose money. And really, that's not, to me, that's really passive investing, or almost sleepwalking investing, because you almost feel like you can't do anything about it because you don't know what else is out there. So really, I'm going to set the expectation for what is a reasonable rate of return to expect in all investments, and just give some generalizations from what I've seen from real estate and just people who are involved in the financial industry. Okay, so thank you for listening to my CD series, or my audio series. I'd really appreciate it if you would go visit the blog, leave a comment, leave a criticism, and like I've mentioned many times, I do personally respond to all blog comments myself. Thank you.